I am going to record this to my computer. All right. Well, let's kick it off with Workshop Wednesday. We're having a little bit of a conversation on the side here about what to do today, and thought it would be good to talk about kind of finding your why and your who. So, figuring out why you're doing what you're doing in your business, and then how do you target and like really niche down to figure out who you want to work with. So today's episode of Conversations That Convert is about clarity and alignment. So everybody that isn't walking or driving, grab a pen and paper. We're going to do an activity here. Um, to start off with, we're going to start off with income because I think I don't know. I mean, if there's anybody on here who's doing this to just volunteer, go ahead and raise your hand and let us know how you're doing here. But we're all doing this for money, right? So the first thing I want you to think about and write down is what's the absolute minimum income that you need to earn to keep your life stable? Like rock bottom, if I don't earn at least this much, I'm not doing this. I can't do this. I've got to go get another job. So what's the absolute minimum that you have to earn to keep your lifestyle stable? And then the next one is going to be what is a comfortable level of income that makes you feel balanced and proud? So it feels good, you're making good money, not necessarily like shooting for the moon, just you're not just getting by. It makes you feel comfortable. You're feeling balanced. And then the third one is what is your dream level income? The level of income that's going to make you feel energized and free, like you can do a lot of things in your life without having to question, do we have enough money to do this? And when you look at those three numbers, I want you to kind of put a tick next to which one you're at. Are we making the absolute bare minimum? Are we just comfortable? Or are we inching towards that dream level of income? And then we're not going to do this today because you need time to sit down and think about it. If you guys haven't already done the exercise of just closing your eyes and imagining what life would look like if you were at your dream level, take 5 or 10 minutes today and really think about what life would be like if you hit that dream level of income. What kind of things would you be able to do? What would change for you and your family? What would it feel like internally if you were able to do the things that you wanted to do without any regard to money, not having to worry about money? So that's your homework after this. So next we're going to get into, we kind of know money, different levels you need to be at money wise, but next we're going to jump into the purpose behind your work. And I want you to write down why you chose real estate. What made you get into this career? I love when I see heads down. That means people are actually doing this. That makes me so happy. And then next, I want you to think about, when do you feel most alive in your work? What part of real estate really like sparks joy or like lights your fire? What kind of moments give you energy and keep you going in this career? Okay. I want you to think of a client who made you really proud or excited, that made you feel like this is worth it. And I want you to just jot down a few things about that experience that helped reiterate to you that you're meant to do what you're doing. It's like, just think of a good client you've had, a situation with a client you've had where you're like, yeah, this is it. This is it. I just feel really connected. This was meant to be. And now, when you guys look at those three things that you just wrote about why you chose real estate, what makes you feel most alive in your work, and the type of client that made you feel that moment of like, yes, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do you guys notice a pattern? Is there a pattern of some emotion that you feel? Maybe pride, joy, gratitude, confidence. And I think this is one you guys will need to go back to. Hi, Debbie. And maybe take some notes on later where you just start noticing that pattern, because these are giving you clues kind of into your purpose and giving you a little bit of an understanding of the compass that's going to keep you guys steady when real estate gets overwhelming. So that's We talked about money, the money mindset and everything around that. Where your income needs to be. The second thing we talk about is finding your purpose. And now the next thing we're going to talk about is figuring out the people that you're meant to serve. So if you could fill your calendar with one type of client all year long and still hit your goals. So money's not an issue. We don't have to worry about any of that. Just there's one type of client that you absolutely love and could fill your calendar with them all year long and still feel fulfilled. What type of client would that be? So think it could be demographics, it could be, a certain whatever, it could be women, men, a combination, families, elderly, first-time home buyers, move down buyers, right? Who kind of just take note of like who would that be? Who would you love to work with consistently? And then what kind of people bring out the best in you? What kind of people give you energy and make you the best version of yourself when you're around them? Maybe they increase your energy. They just make you feel real and authentic. Maybe they shift your mindset, encourage you to grow. And then the last question before we talk about all this is what life transitions or challenges are you passionate about guiding people through? So I know this feels a little probably woo-woo in some ways to like get down and really think about your emotions and your feelings. Um, but because we attract what we align with. And if we aren't clear on what we want to align with, we're not going to be attracting the right type of people. And in fact, we may be attracting people that we don't want to work with. So this exercise is meant to help you get clear and aligned with who you would want to work with, finding the people that light you up and make you want to be in this business, and then really focusing your energy on marketing to that type of person so you can attract them into your life. The trick is marrying the three components up together, right? Marrying up the people that we want to work with, our purpose in life or our purpose in our career, and still making the money that we want. So you've got to find that balance of, okay, what do I need to make? What is my purpose? What do I really want to find or achieve in my career? And then who are the people I want to work with? And this will give you a guide of really your demographic market once you can figure this out of who you need to be marketing to. Because if you're marketing to everybody, you're really marketing to no one. If you can niche down and market to the people that you want to serve, you're going to be able to attract those clients to you, and you're going to be a lot happier in your career. So let's do some sharing here. I'm just genuinely curious what you guys had. If anybody wants to share maybe what their why is, what type of clients that they would ideally love to work with, and then maybe even are you working with that type of client currently, or do you have room to improve there?
I didn't catch the first part, but I really like working with kind of the right sizing buyer, like the older like clientele. I mean, I like working with a lot of different people, but like when I think of what makes me happy, I love working with old people, older people. They're not always old. Sometimes they've like, raised their kids and they're ready to move.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that demographic is a lot more appreciative of the services we provide to them.
Mhm.
Not as in, I don't want to use the word entitled, but there are some clients we work with that are they just think we're door openers.
Mhm. Yeah.
They, that demographic tends to be really respectful of that.
I agree. I mean, I just I mean, they're not the only type of people that make me happy, but like I like to people who make me happy are people that when like we get to talk like more about like ideas and life and things like that, like the people who tell stories about like things in their lives. And like I had a client who started like a really large car dealership and then went on to actually become one of the top home builders in the St. Louis area. And he was like awesome. Like I just like loved hearing his stories and everything.
Love that.
I I like to first time home buyers and then people that I've sold homes to, repeat buyers. Being in the business, that I've been in for a while, I have repeat buyers one or two times, and then their kids, that type. That's buyers I like.
Yeah, like the relationship, the people you built
Yes.
relationships with and continue to come back to you.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's a fun one to work with. Who else? Does anyone?
Um,
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
I'm starting to realize as I work more with clients and stuff that I'm really, and I've always sort of had the educating background, whether it be in my past career in theater and stuff like that. But I really do enjoy with first time home buyers, like teaching them. Also, I'm in the mentorship program, so I'm really learning that I enjoy working with them and I had a really good conversation with my mentee yesterday. He's dealing with a seller who's really mad at him because he hasn't sold his property, right? It's been on the market for 20 days. So it was just working with him and teaching him a lot of things that I've learned here, right? Like controlling the temperature of the situation, things like that. And it was a really good call, and I just really got a lot out of that. Um, and it's just that with investors as well, teaching them how to invest in their financial journey, their investment journey, and how to build their wealth. So I'm learning more and more that I'm really enjoying that aspect of this, and it gives me multiple avenues that I can teach and educate, which is cool.
I love that. I love that. Do you do you feel like you do a good job marketing to investors and that demographic of first-time home buyers?
No, I know that is one of my goals that is to um, on social media and mainly social media is figure out a better system for me to be able to educate um, speaking about like this is what this is, and this is, you know, when you buy a home, this is the inspection process, and just figuring out ways to educate. And I just need to set up. I need to talk to my Chat GPT and set me up a system of posts that I can just be regular about it. So
100%. And it could be as simple, Brad, if you're not like feeling doing video quite yet, or like it's overwhelming to do the video, like just start doing like the whole carousel mode where you've just like got a picture of yourself, a picture of a house that's, you know, in shambles, something, right? And just do the text overlay. But give like I think that would be one thing that could make you stand out as in the industry. Like you've worked with so many investor clients, and if people don't know that, you know, it, we know it because we talk about it on here all the time, but I think the public, you've got so much value you could add to the public just by educating them on that process. Does anybody else have a demographic you're passionate about, or you want to throw out a wild dream income number?
My
So
demographic.
I
Oh, you go.
no, ladies first. You're muted. So as I'm looking at my wealth chart here, my freedom number is at the 360 mark, which equals 450 agents averaging through the plan. So that's kind of the comfortable, like, so 360 in passive makes everything else really a passionate option. I don't see myself ever stopping, but then I really see myself going hardcore in the paint for the things that really fire up my soul, whether I get paid for those or not. So that's the goal. The goal is to do that. So in my mind, then as I say that out loud, is like, okay, so go hard in the paint now, whether I get paid or not, and then watch my avatar show up. And I think that's the mindset trick. Earlier, you said like, find who's your ideal client that you would work for free. I think what like, and as I look back on how I'm here, is I have worked for that ideal client for free up like before, and now I get paid too. Right. So, um, you got to cut your teeth for free in order for to get like almost the credibility to be able to then charge.
The greatest part about real estate as a whole is there's so many opportunities to look busy and appear. We talk about this with new agents all the time, going out there and going to agent tours and, you know, doing all of the social media and like, you know, showing houses today or touring houses today. They don't need to know that you're not touring with anybody but yourself. There is a way to establish yourself for free that doesn't cost you like you're giving away and, you know, representing a client for free per se. So I think that's the greatest opportunity we have. But yeah, I would encourage you guys to get really clear. Just go through this exercise and get really clear on things. Um, you have to make money to support your family. If you're not making enough money to be comfortable, this career is not going to be worth it. It doesn't matter who you're helping. You've got to be able to support your family, but then building up your why, making that really strong as to like what you're passionate about, why you're doing the things that you're doing, and then get really clear on your demographic and start niching down and take your content that you're putting on social media and the messaging you're putting out to people and gear it towards this demographic of clients that light your soul so that you don't have to be pulling your hair out every day. When a deal falls apart, you're not upset because it's about that money. It's about the person that you want to hold it together for and what this means for them or their family. I think that'll make your days so much more worthwhile. And it'll make the hiccups and the roller coaster ride that we go on a weekly basis in this career, um, just it'll make it feel so much better and so much more worth it versus that constant question of like, what am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? Awesome. All right. We are at time. Oh, thanks for hopping on with us today, guys. We will be be back on Friday for Freestyle Friday. See you guys in a few days.
Word.